Hello everybody and welcome back to the F1 2021 Co-op Career Mode with me, Dan, and my co-host Nick. It is of course time for the United States Grand Prix at Austin, Texas, round 13 of the championship. A track that has become significantly more difficult since the downforce patches were released in the 1.1 or 1.2 updates. So we'll see if we can have some improvement again today with the McLaren and the Red Bull driving around here. And we'll get onto the starting grid in just a minute. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell as well. And here we go with the starting lineup for today's United States Grand Prix. And it is JustinFreshpot in the McLaren on pole, followed by Lando Norris. A surprise there. Lando Norris close to winning the championship. Then it's Radiant Slothz and Guan Yu Zhou, Daniel Ricciardo, Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, and Yuki Tsunoda and Max Verstappen round out the top 10. And they're followed by Esteban Ocon, Pierre Gasly, Christian Lundgaard, Nicholas Latifi, George Russell, Lance Stroll, Valtteri Bottas, Antonio Giovinazzi, and once again on the back row, it is of course Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. Let's get to today's United States Grand Prix.
The USA of America Grand Prix, JustinFreshpot with an incredible pole position.
Radiant Slothz struggling all weekend. Now as
a good start from Lando Norris.
Oh, it's a terrible start from Radiant Slothz.
Has dropped back. The McLaren under pressure from his teammate. He's sent Guan Yu Zhou flying. He's been blocked by his teammate.
He's crashed in the three cars.
He's
unbelievable. He threw away pole position, crashed into three cars, and now he's ended up back by Radiant Slothz, who managed to get back into third place by some absolute miracle.
He's rode it round the outside of the Red Bull. JustinFreshpot has had an absolute crazy first lap, and we're only a third of the way through a massive track extend.
Radiant Slothz
under pressure from Charles Leclerc.
A Ferrari has overtaken someone. Two Ferraris.
And now Sergio Perez.
Shocking. What is happening? Radiant Slothz having a terrible weekend as it is. Now suffering against the Ferraris, and he's on the medium tyres. He's hit both Ferraris.
There's contact. They're going through my Sergio Perez out of nowhere has gotten past Charles Leclerc. There's a lock-up from someone.
Oh my goodness. The team
Mercedes dropping back after JustinFreshpot crashed into both of them.
Radiant Slothz doing his best to wipe out the Ferraris as well. Not that either of them needs to crash into these teams because they're well clear of them in the Constructors' title, but now Yuki Tsunoda's going to have a look.
Tsunoda.
Radiant Slothz all over the race. He's crashed into Yuki Tsunoda. What is he's hit Charles Leclerc as well. He's got damage to his front wing. And Sergio Perez thanking everybody right now. And we've got both.
Sergio Perez up into fifth as we go aboard with JustinFreshpot. His awful start.
There he is.
Guan gets the start of the century, but misses his braking zone. JustinFreshpot tries to get around Norris, gets blocked by his teammate, wheel spins on the curb, crashes into a Mercedes. Radiant Slothz cuts the corner to go past. JustinFreshpot clearly faster through this sector, and he's fed up already. He goes for an audacious move around the outside. There is not a lot of room there.
They kept it clean for once, but those soft tyres definitely given JustinFreshpot the advantage. This was Radiant Slothz with this awful getaway. Overtaken by three cars nearly. I think there's another one on his left hand side. There he is. There's Hamilton. Ricciardo's
in front. He sees the
front.
Mayhem up ahead.
And all of them get out the way.
He cuts the corner for good measure.
And now we're back on board.
JustinFreshpot now, just outside the DRS of his teammate.
Yuki Tsunoda has dropped back. Oh, and it's a big ass spin for JustinFreshpot.
Something must be broken on that car for it to go like that. That was a massive spin from the McLaren.
There's Radiant
Slothz. He's got
Slothz.
it back going. He's been overtaken by Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez and Tsunoda.
Incredible stuff.
What happened there? A massive... It looked like the rear wing just came off. Sausage. He's going through, and it's just gone.
Sausage curb.
He's kept out of the wall, and somehow almost kept it going the right direction. There's one car, there's two, and the third going past now.
What an exciting start to the American Grand Prix as we see Radiant Slothz.
He's got a shark bite on that front wing. after crashing into Yuki Tsunoda for some reason. Esteban
Esteban
Ocon up the
Ocon.
inside. Radiant Slothz hasn't given him any room. There's contact. He's pushing him off the track. He's swerved in front of the AlphaTauri and locked up.
Massive lock
He's
up
lost
there.
4 more positions.
There's an Aston Martin as well. That's how slow his car is going right now.
Radiant Slothz flying backwards down the order.
Both Mercedes have come into the pits. It appears as though they double stacked, both receiving damage. And Daniel Ricciardo, as we see contact again. Daniel Ricciardo is now at least 40 seconds behind everybody. Lance Stroll up the inside of Radiant Slothz. Radiant Slothz hits him all over the place.
Corner.
A massive lock-up.
Radiant Slothz is not on form at this race, you have to say. He almost hits Giovinazzi.
It's almost like the wrong setups on that car. It's just not behaving at all. He's been overtaken by two Hasses as the team call him in.
Potentially to retire the car at this point.
I think many would at this point.
Bottas coming in as well. Radiant Slothz, can he make the corner? Almost hits the wall.
It's a time penalty for cutting the pit lane entry.
You have to say that is deserved. As he comes into his box.
What
new front wing.
Dreadful.
There's a man on the camera.
Radiant Slothz,
the front wing's gone on.
Lewis Hamilton gets through. Daniel Ricciardo still 30 seconds behind him. Gaining fast.
Daniel Ricciardo about to be lapped. Radiant Slothz is behind an Alfa Romeo, which won't be ideal.
No, looking at the back of Valtteri
We see
Bottas.
Justin Freshpot trying to recover after his incredibly unlucky first 2 laps of this race. He's on the back of Charles Leclerc. This is where he had his spin.
No spins this time.
He's made it through this time. He's going for the same move he did on Radiant Slothz, but he thinks better of it.
Didn't quite make it. DRS, of course, is activated now, so we should see that pop over in just a second, and he's going to take full advantage of the straight line speed advantage that he's got. There's Tsunoda up there battling with Perez for third.
Perez on for an insanely lucky podium because everyone else keeps crashing as the McLaren goes around the outside.
The Ferrari and the Alpine very equal on development at the moment, so expect to see strong performances from both of them as we see Radiant Slothz now chasing down Valtteri Bottas, trying his best.
Is that the hard compound tyre? It is.
It's the hards. That is a dreadful position to be in. Medium's not quite able to get to the end, although Bottas is going to try it. And this
will
is
the Red Bull get past?
Bottas keeps moving across in front of Radiant Slothz and trying to get past, but he does make it round. And this is going to be a long race.
Box.
McLaren here, boxing. Maybe going to have some damage repaired as well from that start of his race.
We'll have to see.
Keeps it out on the wall.
We come down the pit lane. There's a few people behind him who have not come in, so he's going to be the first one to stop from the leaders.
Fresh set of boots.
Wasn't a quick stop, but he's away anyway. There's George Russell.
Will he come out in a gap? It looks like he will, as there is a massive gap between George Russell and Christian Lundgaard. He needs to get out ahead of Latifi.
Latifi's challenging.
Oh, Latifi almost crashes into him. The McLaren's ahead. That is important for this race.
Nicholas Latifi, of course, seething because it's been too many seasons since he's crashed into JustinFreshpot or Radiant Slothz. The big corner cut there for JustinFreshpot as he follows George Russell.
Massively on George Russell, though. He needs to get past if he wants to have any chance of recovering a podium after his incredibly action-packed first 2 laps. He's going around the outside. Can he make the move?
Oh, he's off the track
run wide
quite a lot there, and he's going to have a look down the inside.
Oh, he's going up the inside.
He makes the move stick. King Latifi in the background, thinking what the hell's going on. Ahead, he's just witnessed an overtake.
Now he's got 2 seconds to gain on Sergio Perez.
Perez has made his stop, so he needs to put in some good laps. Lando Norris still at the front, has not come in. This is Radiant Slothz coming round the pit straight. We'll see if he makes up any positions on anyone who's boxed. It's not going to be many, and I don't think he's going to get into the points. Looking at how far back he is.
He's got ahead of Nikita Mazepin.
Incredible. an incredible overtake. He's 7.5 seconds behind Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton.
JustinFreshpot now, he's gained about a second on Sergio Perez since we last saw him. He's not close enough for DRS though.
Christian Lundgaard in the pits, Esteban Ocon in the pits, he's back up to 5th. I think everyone else has come in now. There's Yuki Tsunoda.
Sensational if JustinFreshpot gets anything out of this race.
And even more sensational would be if Radiant Slothz could get anything out of this race on the hard tyre. As he's going to get past a few more drivers. It's going to be Mick Schumacher, Lance Stroll, King Latifi, George Russell. Puts him up into 13th. There's Chris. That wasn't Christian Lundgaard. That is George Russell. Just come in.
3 overtakes and Radiant Slothz will score a point.
Shocking.
He's only got 5 laps to do it. JustinFreshpot now right on the back of Sergio Perez.
This is the battle for 3rd place. Yuki Tsunoda also in front, going very slow for some reason.
Oh, not much room there given from Perez. JustinFreshpot loses some time.
Disgusting move.
Getting the power down now.
The Alpine.
The Alpine also in DRS, but the McLaren's still gaining. Will we see a dive bomb? He's gone for it.
It's very close. Who's out
Sounded
ahead?
like contact.
Who's out ahead? It's Perez. Perez maintains the
Perez has
position.
made it through.
The Alpine going strong. And Yuki
That
Tsunoda pulling
McLaren
away.
chasing him through the first sector.
He's going to be able to stay pretty close. He's got a good aero package on the McLaren now. And the Alpine, we're not quite sure. But look how close that is there. Sergio Perez dropped the ball.
Doing what he can to get past now. Not long. He needs to get past 2 cars to get on the podium.
Yuki Tsunoda enjoying
the Alpine
battle.
Will get DRS again.
This was the move. And we'll see what happened this time. Up the
Late
inside.
on the brake.
Perez gives him no room at all.
Perez did not give the McLaren any space.
Shocking driving from the Mexican. And this is the other move when he did get past Perez this
Those cars
time.
with DRS, but the McLaren's still faster.
Perez playing fair this time.
Actually gives the McLaren he doesn't give him much room.
Trying to come back at him though.
The McLaren finally gets ahead. Radiant Slothz now a lonely old race. Back extends for no reason.
He gets past the final stopper of Antonio Giovinazzi and now has to chase down Christian Lundgaard and Charles Leclerc. So a 5-second gap to make up to get into the points. That's a big ask in a car that is clearly not working very well for him.
JustinFreshpot now, he wants that podium. He's had a crash and a spin, but he's recovered.
Yuki Tsunoda clearly struggling at this point in the season, not just in this race.
In life
itself, in the multiverse.
Will we see another dive bomb here from the McLaren?
The Ferrari weaving all over the place.
And he's taken the line. He's saying, "You're not going to give me no space like Perez did." And he's got ahead.
Yuki Tsunoda cries about losing the position. This is Radiant Slothz. He has caught Christian Lundgaard. Unfortunately, Christian Lundgaard has dropped 6 seconds to Charles Leclerc. So there's absolutely no chance for Radiant Slothz to be able to catch them. But he might be able to get 11th as a best case scenario on board as we go up the hill into turn 1. The Williams. Clearly not going as slow as it used to, but with the performance upgrades it's had. An almost competitive car. Max Verstappen running in the points currently. Christian Lundgaard in his rookie season.
Make the move.
We'll have to see.
He's gaining.
He's definitely closed up quite a lot there in this intricate section. And Christian Lundgaard will literally be soiling his race suit. There's the sparks. He's that close now. And we come onto the DRS straight. Christian Lundgaard will clearly not stand a chance against the Red Bull here. Although it is being driven by Radiant Slothz, so anything's possible. He goes defensive.
Inside, and he's ahead before the braking zone.
Futile defence, but he tries it anyway.
To gain 7 seconds to get a point. Can he do it?
He's got to hope for a retirement. Pierre Gasly's up there. He likes to retire in races.
And JustinFreshpot here an incredible recovery drive after what can only be described as mayhem in the first 2 laps. He almost track extends.
Comes around the final corner, and he will cross the line on the podium again. But the title fight is getting narrower and narrower. It's looking very unlikely, but he has to win every single race from here on
Radiant
out.
Slothz coming through. Christian Lundgaard is DNF'd after being overtaken.
He was so sad. Radiant Slothz had a massive moment there around the final sector, practically drifting. Small track extend. He will come round the final corner now. A disappointing P11, but given how he was doing on lap 1, not a bad result. And I guess now we'll go onto the podium to see everybody. Oh, this is JustinFreshpot. He's parked.
He's retired after the race.
A strange thing for the McLaren to do. Radiant Slothz. We're going to see Yuki Tsunoda as driver of the day.
He made most of his positions through JustinFreshpot crashing.
Excellent job. Of course, Lando Norris, we haven't spoken about him at all since the first lap. Wins the race once again. This incredible run of luck just carries on indefinitely for Lando Norris. And the Red Bull team are getting pretty sick of the TV time at this point. As are the McLaren crew, most likely, on the podium. And it's not an all-British lockout, but quite possibly the worst thing an American could see are 2 Brits and a Chinese man on the podium at their home Grand Prix.
Crowd whipped into a frenzy. Gunshots are being reported.
And that was before the podium. That was during the race. And that marks the end of another difficult race for Radiant Slothz. He is well out of title contention now as we see the final results there. Lando Norris, Guan Yu Zhou and JustinFreshpot, of course, are podium finishers. JustinFreshpot with a time penalty at the end as well, so not much he could have done if he had got past his teammate. They were followed by Yuki Tsunoda, Sergio Perez, Esteban Ocon, Max Verstappen, Pierre Gasly, Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, with Radiant Slothz, of course, missing out on the final point due to that early stop and his penalty. So over in the Drivers' Championship, it is nail-biting now. JustinFreshpot has to win the next 3 races to stay in contention, and of course Lando Norris has to score less than 8 points. Something that's unlikely to happen, but we'll have to see how things go. Those 2 are followed by Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc and Radiant Slothz, who are still battling over 3rd place, although with that recent poor performance, Radiant Slothz will be dropping down out of contention, followed by Guan Yu Zhou, Yuki Tsunoda, Max Verstappen, the retired Robert Schwartzman and Sergio Perez making out the drivers' top 10. Over in the Constructors, it is Red Bull running away with the lead, followed by McLaren, who have solidified their place ahead of Mercedes. Ferrari secure 4th place, then it's Alpine, Williams, AlphaTauri, Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo and Haas at the bottom of the table. We'll catch you for the next one.